Um, Today is Thursday, October 28th, 2021. This is a deliberation of the Baltimore County Board of Appeals in case number 21054A in the matter of Christopher and Jessica L. Hughes, appealing the denial of a petition for administrative variance, relief to permit the housing of chickens for non-commercial use on a residential lot that is less than 1 acre required minimum size. Ms. Hughes testified as to the property at 713 Hollow Road in the first councilmanic district as being a 3/4 of an acre lot, having many unique characteristics, including its shape and its topography, steep slopes, and some forest. And that the property is very private and secluded with only one neighbor. All of which I thought was a very able articulation of the unique characters of the site. What I thought Ms. Hughes did not do was explain how the requirement of the zoning regulations and those characteristics are connected to deny her the permitted use. Nothing she said changes the size of the lot, which is the issue before us. So based on that, I don't think she proved her case as to the second prong of the variance requirement. The first is, of course, uniqueness. The second is how the regulations impact her property differently to justify the relief. So that would be my position. Mr. Pennington?
Yeah, I would actually tend to agree. And I have here just in my notes that one of the prongs is that the uniqueness of the lot, even though it may be unique, the uniqueness must necessitate the requested variance. And I didn't hear anything that there was a cause. I didn't hear anything that gave me that led from the uniqueness to the necessary variance. So I would tend to agree. And I don't know. I don't think there was enough, even for that, even if that was satisfied, I don't think there was enough testimony or evidence presented to lead me to believe that there was any practical difficulties or any hardships in denying that variance.
Mr. Belt?
I concur. I find that the testimony was intriguing and it was very honest and informative. And I think it probably would have a lot of value maybe with folks at county council if they were ever considering other exceptions to this rule, because I think what we heard about the intentions of the homeowner was all well-intentioned thoughts for having the chickens and kind of dispelled any myths about the dangers and smells and things of that sort. But unfortunately, that's not what was before us. Ours is applying the zoning law. Ms. Hughes made an interesting argument, which kind of turned Cromwell on its head, is basically saying that she didn't need the variance because it was unique. Basically, because her property was unique, it had less of an impact on the other neighbors, which is a very interesting argument, but unfortunately it's not the right one for this case. But I thought what she was saying really made a lot of sense, because the way her property was shaped and the natural boundaries that other properties wouldn't have to see them, smell them, hear them. But unfortunately, that is not the proper analysis at law. So while I believe all intentions were good and that I am convinced that probably would not be a problem for folks in surrounding areas, that's not the question that we have. We just have this uniqueness, and then we have the practical difficulty. The uniqueness though there is a unique property, it's kind of the converse of why it's unique. And then the practical difficulty just doesn't make it as well. So I concur with both of my colleagues, but it was a very informative hearing, and perhaps someone else in the county could take up her calls at a later date.
Okay, so we're unanimous that we will affirm the ALJ's order to, and deny the requested variance.
All right.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. I'm going to go off the record and conclude this hearing. We should briefly reconvene to determine who's going to draft this order. So we're,
Just put on the record, don't need to reconvene. I will draft it.
thank you, Mr. Belt.
All right.
And I am going off the record, and thank you all. And once again, I think Ms. Hughes did a good job and made an interesting argument, and I tend to agree with Mr. Belt as to everything.
All right. See y'all later on.